Record the broadcast. Oh, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Launch Your Passion Project with Rachel Holmes and Jenny Burrell. So let's firstly do a little check as people are coming in. Guys, if you're new to a webinar, welcome. This is all very exciting. And we really want to invite you to interact with us and ask questions. So if you can see, there's a little chat box down here. And if you could just kind of type in the chat box that you can hear me, and then Jenny will pop on and make sure that you can hear Jenny, and then we can get started. So let's have a
Hiya everyone. Hiya everyone. I'm here. Hopefully you can hear me too. So just enter in the chat box if you've got both me and Rachel.
Okay. All right, let me type something. Hello. Type. Oh yes, Sally's saying hi. Hi, Sally. Nice to hear from you. After you sent me an email today, I'm glad that you managed to get on the webinar. Welcome. So someone can hear us, Jenny, that's for sure. Let's have a look who else. Oh, Maria's on. Hi, Maria. Maria Elliott.
Oh, hiya Maria.
My first ever webinar, that says Sally. So people are just kind of coming in. Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. Can everyone just, it's really helpful if you can just type in that chat box, because again, you can ask us any questions, and if you're dying to launch a passion project or you've got something that you really want to ask us, this is a really great place to do it. So just make sure that you can all type in there, and then we can get going. Oh, hello, Louise. Hi, Louise. I'm great people in here today. We've not got any questions so far, just from Sally, so I'm hoping that everyone else can hear us.
And Rachel, I can't actually see the questions, so you'll have to read them when you see them.
Okay, I surely will.
Okay.
Yeah, will do. Well, I think we'll get started then. Can you see my screen okay, Jenny? Yeah.
Oh yes, I can see the questions now, and I can see your screen fine. Yeah, good.
Okay.
Good to go.
Good to go. Okay. All right, guys. Well, as you know, I'm Rachel Holmes. I have been in the fitness industry for 27 years, a long time, coming up for 28. And I've launched multiple businesses and online and offline throughout my career. Some have been successful, some have been not so successful. But I have a wealth of experience in doing launches, getting ideas out of your head and out of the door. And Jenny and I have been talking about doing this passion project for a long time, because we're both asked so often if we can do coaching and mentoring. So we wanted to get our heads together and put something that was really pertinent and useful and could help people get from out of the head, out of the door. And that's what this project is all about, isn't it, Jenny?
Absolutely. I mean, I just know that whenever we've been presenting and afterwards, people are just always asking, how do you do it? How do you do it? And what me and Rachel wanted to do was literally create a template for how do you do it. And this is not about any flim-flammery or oh, you can be an overnight success. Yes, you can be successful, but before that comes a lot of strategic planning and then the work. But we know, because of our own personal experience, if you plan well and you do the work, guess what? The magic blooming happens, 100%.
Absolutely. And I think if there's fitness professionals listening on the line, and I know there's some of your health professional tribe in as well, Jenny, then we've all got loads of ideas. We're all ideas people, and we kind of go around the world and think, yeah, I've got that idea and that's going to be great. And then we kind of, you get all enthusiastic about it. And then another idea comes along, and then you start to pursue that idea. And then before you know it, you've not really completed the first idea, or you've never even got it started. And on we go. So it's about really setting the stage and going right back to basics and thinking, well, this idea that you've got, is it an idea that you're still going to be in love with 6 months down the line, a year down the line, or even 5 years down the line? Are you still going to love that idea? Because you are going to have to love that idea and research it and understand it and know who's going to be interested in that product or service once you've created. I've seen this so many times, especially by fitness professionals who I tend to work with. They'll say, yeah, I've got this idea. And they go for it, but without doing the research. And then they go to all the time, all that emotion, all that expense of creating something that they think people want. And yet when they get to the finish line, it isn't actually quite that product that people are wanting to buy. So both you and I have got some strategies and some ideas that we can help people with the research, make sure that they are very clear about their idea and where they want to take it.
Yeah, and you know what? The other thing as well, Rachel, I think one of the big things is that then people have a great idea, they've done the planning, and guess what? At the last moment, then they get scared. They get scared about getting out there and letting people see them, because then if you put yourself out there, then absolutely there might be people who don't want it, but the majority of people will, but also people that will knock you, people that will have something to say about your product. And so this is also this Launch Your Passion project is also about toughening up and learning to roll with the punches, and to know that so long as you're steadfast in your belief in your product and people want it, you've just got to get out there, you've got to be seen, you can't hide.
That's very true. And I mean, we're going to, as we go through the modules shortly, we're going to be talking a lot about social media and the different platforms and which one might be right for you. But yeah, you've definitely got to get used to the idea of putting yourself out there on a daily basis, really, and building your platform, building your tribe, and building your audience. So there is a blueprint and there is a system to all of this. It's not just born out of chaos. And I think both you and I we wanted to be very clear about who is this for. And I know, Jenny, when you first when we were talking about it, we were really brainstorming about how important it is for people to take something off their plate first. Because again, we see this time and time again, people keep putting more and more and more projects and more things to do on their weekly to-do list. And obviously, if you really want to spend the time on creating something that's going to be viable, that's going to be sustainable, that's going to be profitable, you have got to have the time to research it and put it together and create it. And I think, again, if people do go wrong when they're launching something new, they don't give enough time in the week. They underestimate how long everything is going to take. Don't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think this is a big thing. We and I say this as a new mom, especially. Oh my gosh, you really need to be tight with the things that are going to take up your time. So you've got to get your home systems in place as well as your work system. So your childcare, that can't be haphazard anymore. If you need help around the home, it's got everybody has to work towards everything in your life has to work towards you having enough time for this creative process. It can't happen by chance. You've got to make big space in your life if you want bigger things to happen. Yeah.
Yeah. And as a new mum, is there any tips for that then, Jen? Do you think if anybody kind of listening is thinking, gosh, I've got the home, I've got the family, I'm teaching classes, I'm doing therapy, I'm doing PT, where does that break, that period of time, where does it come from, do you think?
Well, childcare paid for very expensively, but a set amount of hours. Joel goes to nursery 1 till 6, 1 till 6. My work rate in those 5 hours, oh my gosh, it's just amazing. I don't think I've ever worked as fast ever in my life. 1 till 6, I am cranking, and I think that's hugely, hugely important to have that strict time where this is the time that I'm dedicating to this project.
Yeah, that's really worth kind of thinking about. So I think anybody listening that's thinking about launching any kind of project and coming with us on the passion project, that is going to be something that you really need to decide from the offset. And thinking, yeah, I'm going to take 2 afternoons a week, 3 afternoons a week, or whatever. But again, the material that is on Passion Project, it is yours forever. But I think if you're going to come with us and you're ready to go, I think it's important from the offset to say, right, I'm going to be working on this from this set time, from to this set time. And then, as Jenny said, you've just got to get your head down, you've got to roll up those sleeves, and you've got to go with it.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Cool. So shall we talk about kind of the modules and see if we've got any questions coming through? Guys, there's a few people just popping in. Any more questions there, team, as we're kind of rolling through the modules? Because we want to give you the best information about the course and give you lots of tips, and we don't want to take any of your time up that's not necessary. So do shout up if you've got any questions. Do let us know. I'm not seeing anything in the chat box here, so that's all good.
Okay.
Okay, so module one.
Okay.
Do you want to go with module one, Jenny?
Yes, I do. Okay, so this is very much about, and I see this lots of times, it's really truly defining the client. The avatar means, like, the ideal client, the template for the client. And definitely my area is anti and postnatal. And I can't tell you the amount of times I see somebody saying, advertising a class or something, and it just says, anti-postnatal instructor, anti-postnatal class. Now, the thing is, you are serving women who are pregnant and after babies, but my gosh, your concerns, anybody that's had a baby, your concerns when you're pregnant are not your concerns in the postnatal period. And so again, which one are you serving? And then we have to think about all the real concerns. Say we're dealing with the pregnant client, what are they concerned about? Mostly if they want to do exercise, they definitely want to be with somebody who's safe. They then usually are worried about putting on weight, they're worried about what to eat, they're worried about their pelvic floor and how they're going to get this baby out of a very small space when the baby's got quite a big head, and how to prepare for that and then recover. So if you are deciding on the client avatar, truly, you've got to really tune in to their deepest needs and concerns. And then those deepest needs and concerns are at the front of your marketing and all your promotional stuff to this client. It's so important to speak to their concerns and needs. You see a lot of fit pros talking about what they can do, their certifications, all of this kind of stuff. The people who are going to buy your product want to know what you're going to do for them, and that's really important.
So it's almost that the people are wanting the result, Jenny, isn't it? They're buying the result really when it's a package of this kind, aren't they? They're buying the end product, the end result.
Absolutely, and I think we spend too much time not focusing on the actual end result. What do they want? And do you know what? You could simply canvas like 30 pregnant women or 30 of your choice audience and just say, what's the problems? What are the results that you want to get? And if you did a survey of the people who you potentially wanted to serve and just ask them, what are the big problems? What do you want to achieve? That there is the basis for a great product.
I think, and also I think it's important to really narrow down your niche, know who your customer is. I mean, I'm quite a visual person, so I might even draw my ideal client. I don't want to serve everybody. I don't want to sell my products to everybody. I have a very a tight niche of who she is, where she shops, what she looks like, where she socializes, where she hangs out on social media. That's the beauty of social media. When we get into the social media kind of module a bit later on, you can find all those insights out. And once you have your really clearly defined avatar who's going to purchase your product, whether it's a live product or whether it's an online product, that makes it so much easier for you to market to. So every time you write a newsletter, every time you do a blog post, every time you put a Facebook post up, whether time you make a picture, whatever, you have that ideal client in mind. You're almost writing or speaking to that person on a one-to-one basis. And that makes everything so much easier. Often I'll say to people, well, who comes to your classes? And they'll go, well, everyone from 18 to 95. I'll say, wow, that's amazing. But there must be a common denominator in there somewhere. What is the sort of common age group? And people may say, well, I don't know. Yeah, 18 to 95. But that's just too wide. It's just too big and it's too wide a category. So it is really it's beneficial if you can really fine tune who do you want to work with, who don't you want to work with. You know, the time that you're going to be spending creating this product and working with those clients is important, that you like those clients and you love those clients and you want to work with them. If you don't like working with the very unfit and beginners, then don't design a program or a product that serves that market. If you would rather work with elite athletes or whatever it may be, whatever your avatar is, fine tune it, because that's going to help you market it in the long run. So really be clear about who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with.
Yeah, and absolutely, and that avatar also, it must be absolutely intrinsically linked to your passions, because you're going to have to do so much time researching and working on this project. If you're not actually interested in the subject matter that you've got to learn and create,
Mm.
well, that's going to be tough going. You've got to be passionate. It's got to be. It's almost like and I know it sounds a bit cliched, but it needs to be. That you're spending, it's the thing that you would spend time doing, and then time really passes so quickly. You know, you would or like, I really love massage and remedial therapy, and sometimes I feel like, oh, I would do it for free. You know, I love it that much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. So with anyone listening into the webinar, think about, you know, where does this client go? Who is she? You know, what's her income level? What's her pain points, or he? And the bigger picture that you can build up about that client and your passion, that's going to make it so much easier in creating your project and marketing to that person once you've made it. So I'm just seeing if there's any questions. No one's coming up with any questions, Jenny. Can you believe it? I
Oh
can't.
yeah, I can't believe it.
I
Okay,
can't.
well,
Move on.
let's let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay,
So
my turn too.
yeah, choosing your communication platform. Um, I'll come back to this one, but then website data capture. There's lots of things. I mean, I take it that everybody has a website by now. I'm really, really hoping so. But there are some things that are so key. It's almost like non-negotiables on your website. If you're doing anything, the key thing is to be able to drive people back to your website, where they can find out more about this offering and more about you and more about your success with other people. And so if you have a website, you must have some means of building your list, increasing the people who you communicate with through email. And obviously that's king, your list is king. And so on your website, you've just got to have data capture forms where you give people something fabulous, something valuable in return for their email. And if you look at my website on burrelleducation.com, I think I've probably got about four data capture avenues, but they are all things that I know the people who follow me, anti-postnatal and women's wellness professionals, these are all things that I know are valuable to them. And I've created videos or download forms and things like that. But either way, this has to be done, and we'll get to you sorted in this area, because it's one of the biggies. It's really one of the biggies, and it's got to be done.
It absolutely, it is a non-negotiable. Any business in 2015/16, if they don't have a website with data capture, they haven't got a business. There is no business, because you can have 1 million likes on Facebook, you can have 25,000 followers on Twitter, but they're not going to keep you in Louboutins, are they? Likes and followers aren't. You've got to get those people from social media via a gift, as Jenny said, a video, or some really interesting information that your client, your ideal client customer, is going to want in exchange for their email. And then once they're on your email list, that's when you can give them more value. So again, if both of you guys subscribe to Jenny and I's information, you'll see that, we send a lot of information out to our list. And people say, yeah, Rachel, people unsubscribe. And I am happy when people unsubscribe, because I only want to serve people who are interested in the products and the launches and the information and the things that I'm doing. And if they aren't, then that's great if they unsubscribe. But it's key, and I see this so much with fitness professionals. They have great websites, but there's nowhere to sign up to their list. Every single day on the top of my to-do list, it's always, how do I grow my email list? It's your currency, it's your gold, it's the lifeblood of your business. And I'm still staggered, but in this day and age, so many businesses don't recognize how important that is. But again, in module 2, we're going to take you back to basics and show you exactly how to do it. Your website doesn't need to be all singing or dancing. It just needs to be clear and concise. It needs to showcase your products and your services. It needs to have a good customer experience, but it doesn't have to be all flash and razzmatazz. Because remember, most people are looking at a website through a mobile phone. So the big flashy websites don't translate that well to the small iPhone screen. So just a mobile responsive website is really all you need. Something that's clear, concise, and communicates who you are, your products, and your services. They can find out all about you on social media, but when it comes back to your website, that's really important that you have that data capture. And again, we're going to show you exactly how you can do that, and how you can use social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, a full range. So you can use those platforms, for people to get to know you and like you and trust you, and then they'll come over from those platforms and sign up on your email list. And that's really key. And we're going to spend quite a lot of time on that, Jenny, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And I think again, this is where sometimes when people are afraid, they go into that, oh, I don't want to be criticized. So then they're hiding. And you really have to be out there and out there wholeheartedly and let people see you. And as you said, it's fine if people are unsubscribe. Absolutely, because they're not your customers,
Yeah,
obviously.
100%.
um, yeah, there's a question, Rachel,
Yeah,
from Sally Wilkinson. I can see it now.
yeah.
um, uh, so you're worried about, Sally, you're worried about, as you put it, fannying around, spending a lot of time fannying around on Facebook. Is it better to limit it to certain hours on certain days, treat it like set hours? Yeah. Absolutely. So you really need. No, actually have my Facebook on all of my working day, because I have groups where my students are, and so this is part of my working day to answer the questions in the group. So
Mm.
this is part of my job is answering Facebook. So if you can go on to do one thing, and then you're looking through your feed, you go down a tunnel and you come out 20, 30, 40 minutes later and you haven't achieved a thing. And I think if you know that's how you are, you've got to absolutely curb it, because you can, I think, waste your life on there. And what I do, and I'll add it to the course, I have a list, and I have all my Facebook pages, because I have several, and then all the groups that I serve, my students groups. And what I do, so it's a template, and I'll share it with people on the course. And what I do is every day, all I need to do is put a tick. Have I posted something in each of these areas? Once that's done, I know that any time spent on Facebook is messing about.
I'm with you, Jenny, totally. I mean, I'm the same as Jenny. I have Facebook. And when I'm in my office working, Facebook is on constantly in the background, answering customer services, support. I'm in my groups. We're creating constant content for Facebook, because I see Facebook almost as a 24-hour kind of news channel, really. And
Yeah.
I want to create interesting content for people that come to my Facebook channels. And then again, the aim is that they will jump across and join me on my list. So yes, I do spend a lot of time on Facebook. But again, as Jenny said, once you get into this, if you start using Facebook adverts and you're in various groups, it becomes it's just such an amazing tool to get new clients. Once you get a system going with how to do that, then you can start to limit your time a little bit, and you can automate quite a lot of Facebook. But I do think, and I'll talk about this a lot on the course, you know, people do want to see and feel your energy on social media. So if you automate too much and it becomes a bit robotic, I think people will start to lose a little bit interest. If you're building your brand and you're building your name, then yes, I do think you need to get out there and you need to communicate and interact and post, create videos, you know, and make your platforms be really interesting and exciting. But once you've got the ball rolling, then, you know, possibly automate some of it or maybe outsource some of it. You know, there's a lot you can do where you don't have to be sitting at your PC 24/7, which obviously none of us can do. But there is some smoke and mirrors tricks that we can teach you that people often say to me, oh gosh, you're always on Facebook, I'm always seeing stuff. And, you know, because of Facebook Insights, I can see when people, the majority of people are looking at my pages. So that's the time I'm going to be posting the most pertinent information. You know, I know when it's quieter times. And Facebook tells you all of that, actually. It's very, very helpful. But
Yes.
we'll go through this. But I think initially when you are creating your brand, it is important to sort of get there and interact and be out there. But yeah, it can be a rabbit hole that you have to be a little bit aware of. So great question, Sally. Really good question.
And so the last part is, yeah, the last part is hiring help and outsourcing. And you know what? It's really amazing because I think that people think that you, Rachel, and myself, that we're doing it all. And I have to tell you that there is me and four others running Burrell Education. And there is no way in the world I could ever manage all of this by myself. And not only that, I'm not good. I'm good at making educational products. I'm not so good at other things, but guess what? Other people can do it in like a quarter of the time I spend fannying around. And so then you've got to get the best people for the jobs. You don't need to do it all, and you actually can afford to outsource. And we'll really show you lots of the tricks that we use to really maximize our days, because for sure Rachel and I are no way doing all of this. No way.
No way. There is amazing people in the Philippines and in India and on great websites that have computer science degrees and marketing degrees that can do all those little fiddly jobs that would take us hours to do. They can do them so much quicker, so much faster, and so much better. Sometimes you've just got to let go of those reins and pay other people to do those things. So that frees up your valuable time to be creative and forge ahead with your business. You know, it's something that if I look back on my business career, I wished I'd done it so much earlier, and I wished I'd done it so much faster, and I wished I'd done it so much bigger, you know, because your time is so valuable, as we know. So, you know your strengths. What are you really good at? What are you not so good at? Let's outsource that. Let's get other people to do that so you can focus on driving the business forward. And, you know, it does seem like a mountain to climb, but once you get the tips, once you know the websites, once you know how to do the hiring, it will save you so much time, emotion, and money in the long run. So yeah, you can't do it all. And once you decide and know that you can't do it all, then it becomes a little bit easier. So definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
Module.
oh, look, yeah, I love module 3. So this is great because this is so important. People need to see you. This is huge.
Yeah.
And I think people get really worried about recording themselves. And I know 100% when I first started this, I was terrible. And even now, when I listen back to some of my courses, you know, there's a bit of umming and ahhing, but actually the content, the quality of the content overall is smashing. And I think in this area, we will help you to know that your very best is good enough, and stop thinking that you need to like present like Angelina Jolie or a newscaster or something like this. Just, to me, just be real. Just show up as your authentic self, and guess what? That is what people want. They really do. They want to see you just being yourself. And sometimes when it's too super polished, I think it's off-putting. I know a few things where I've seen them and it looks all so staged and it's like, oh, it feels a bit of a bore. And what I do love is when you can see people's quirkiness, when you can really see, you can see them. You can see them.
Yeah, because it's all about you being you. We're all in fitness and wellness and health and nutrition, and many of us might have similar ideas for products and services. But what the difference is you. We're all unique. We all have unique personalities, and people in your classes or your services come to you because of you. There's something in your personality that makes you be likable, and we want you to really hone those skills and get them on camera. And of course you trip up, you make mistakes, you say the wrong thing. It doesn't matter. It's about you being authentic, and you don't have to have an MTV sort of set behind you. As you'll see, Jenny and I, we're often sitting in our kitchen or in our lounge or, outside in the garden. It's not the setting, it's the content, it's you,
Content.
the information. And
Yeah,
we really,
100%.
yeah, it really is.
Right.
If the picture drops down behind you, it doesn't matter. You just the show must go on. It's part of life, and people do like that very real. This is why YouTube's so huge. This is why all these YouTube stars are just doing so well now with products and brands, because people want to see real people promoting real things. They don't want fake anymore. Fake's so over. And it's
Yeah, yeah.
we get better with video. The first few, I mean, even now I look at them and think, oh my God, my accent, how do I look? That's horrendous. But you just move on, and you film another one and you get a little bit better and you try again and you just keep going. You do. But if you are going to create a digital product, you have to get behind the camera. You have to. People have to see you. They have to look into your eyes, and they've got to trust you, and they've got to form a connection. And so video is crucial in 2016 going forward with any digital product. But again, we'll show you how to do it. What's the worst thing that happened? People say, oh, I didn't put a video up. Why? What's going to happen? Someone's going to come around and put your windows through. No, nothing's going to happen. You've just got to do it. You've just got to do it. And the more
Yeah,
you do it, the better you get.
yeah, and one of the things as well, Rachel, that I really have to impress upon people, I've built a business using a Panasonic camera that cost me 200 odd quid and a 12-pound tripod that I got from Amazon.
Oh,
So, and then using a PC, and before I had the Mac, then I had Windows Movie Maker. Very basic kit, but you know what? It's the content. It's the content.
you know what, Jenny, don't you? I mean, if you've got an iPhone, the iPhone camera on the iPhone 6 now is better than any digital camera that you could have had probably 2 years ago. It's so sophisticated. And so is the video camera. You can rig a mic up to your iPhone. I've got on my desk now, my iPhone, a little tripod that was 12 quid from Amazon, same as you, and a special mic that was, I think was $25, that goes into the iPhone. So you've got crisp, nice sound, because people will forgive if the video is a bit grainy, but it's sound. People like to hear good crisp sound, and all you need to do is invest in a $25 little mic that plugs into your jack, and voila, you've got a fantastic little sound recording system that then all you need to do, you can upload it directly to any of your channels or social media or your website in minutes. You don't need anything sophisticated. Back in the day, you used to needed a BBC kind of production team. None of that now. You can carry this around in your pocket with your iPhone. So, there's no excuses there with equipment, is there?
No, not at all. And Sally's just written that her dog did a pooper in the background of one of her videos, and people really loved it. Well, that's real. And actually, one of the things, and I've got a little dog called Poppy, and sometimes when I've been filming, well, she just wanders across the filming, and people are always like, "Oh, I loved your little dog." I think just be real, just be real.
Just for you. So, but, we'll coach you through that one. So, module 4, oh, my favorite. building a buzz. This is what I love to do. I love to whip everybody up into a frenzy on social media about something that we're launching, that's happening. Next week I'm launching a new book and I'm launching a little pop-up studio. So we've been revving up on social media with daily videos and graphics, and we're doing a countdown. And I love to create that buzz, and there is an art to it. There's a blueprint to it. So you decide, you create your product, and we've got it all ready, and you go, right, it's going live on the 29th of October. That's the date. You work to that date, and then just like you would see a movie, a particular movie that's going to come out, I don't know, even whatever the next big kind of movie is, but it will have been created months and years ago, and already we'll have been seeing the interviews, we'll have been seeing all the hype, it'll be on all the papers way before it actually launches in the cinema. The same with anything, whether it's a TV show, whether it's a book. We're all seeing Jamie Oliver's going to come out with his new Christmas book. There's already been leaks, and there's interviews and all kinds of stuff already coming out. So there is a method to your launch, and you build that launch, you set your date, and then boom, you release it into the world. And that's really exciting. But again, there is a pattern to it, and we'll show you how to do that as we go through. Is there anything else you want to add on that, Jenny, on the launch?
Yeah, absolutely. It is that there is a system. There is a system. And you know what? I went to Malta last year at November time. And, I sat down, and for the first time ever, I really, really created a strategic plan for my launching, the videos, the information videos that I would put out there, how I would then create sponsored posts, and oh my gosh. And that time, since that time, I have just rinsed and repeated that system, and it works. Because I think there's a concept of hope marketing. Oh, I think I'll make something and I'll put it out there a bit. No, your intention has to be so direct and so strong, and you have to put that thing out there, like, with every ounce of your might. You have to put it out there and truly have big intention behind it. And it's a system. It's a system.
It is, and you're so right there. You've got to believe in that product 110%. You've got to know in your mind, you've got to say it to the universe. If there's a little bit of doubt anywhere, then people do pick that up and it will be transmitted. I'm very much a believer in the power of positive thinking, but you really got to authentically believe in that product and say, that's the date, I'm going for it, I'm going all out. And that's going to be as part of your strategy as well. It's very important. There's a countdown to that launch. And again, as Jenny said, it's a strategy, it's a system, and making sure that your product is completely foolproof. You've checked it, you've tested it, you know everything about that product. You've thought every possible eventuality through before you launch it, and then boom, you go for it. It's really exciting. That's the most exciting part, I think, that
Yeah.
love it. Love that bit. It's good. Okay.
Yes, me too.
Module 5.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, this is a big one, because then you've launched. And then one of the key things, and I think that's it, in most offerings, most products like this, it's kind of like you've launched and that's it. Bye. No way, because you've made something, you've spent all that time creating it, you then need to be able to sell it over and over again. What about that for a thought? And so it's that thing. First step is to take a step back, take some time off, because you will have been working intensely, and really say, well done me. That's a big thing. Congratulate yourself, and then start to get the feedback from the people who have bought the product. What was brilliant? And never be afraid to ask for feedback. It's so important to be able to do that and take on board what people are saying. Get the feedback. How can I make this better? Instead of saying, oh, what was rubbish, or what wasn't so good, how can I make this even better for you? And you take that information and say, the launch version was version 1. Next time you put it out there, wow, you've taken on all that information from the people who you've served, and you're going to bump it up to another level. and never have that feeling that you're making it really mistakes. Just think, right, next time I hit go, because you want to continuously relaunch, next time I hit go, it's going to be even better, and just have that mindset.
Yeah, absolutely. And there will be, once you've launched, there will be little things that will come back that need a tweak and a need a change. There's things that you can't have thought about, that you won't have thought about, that until it actually goes out to a wider audience, then you think, oh yes, I can fix that. Fix it, take a deep breath and know that that's probably going to happen, that you're going to have to tweak things. And then again, you're ready for the next launch. It's never a negative, it's always a positive, and it's something that you can use going forward to make the product even better. Or if you're going to create something again after that, again, you can take in all that experience to make the next one even better. So yeah, Jenny and I, so many times that's happened to me, and I think I've gone through all this and I know it and I've launched it, and I think, oh, someone's come back and said, oh, but, and you think, yes, quickly, I need to just maybe tweak it, change it. And we all do that. That's the beauty of digital products, really. And that's the beauty that you can. And it's your product and you are able to tweak it and change it and make it even better. So you have a really solid, sustainable launch that you can keep launching, rinse and repeat, as Jenny said. So yeah, it's
Absolutely.
always a learning curve, isn't it?
Always, always. But I love it. I love it because, you're using also your clients to help you make a better product. So never be afraid to say, hey, how can I make this even more awesome for
Yeah.
you?
Listen to your tribe, listen to your audience. What are they saying? What do they need? And you'll bounce back and the next thing will be even better. So definitely. So as we said, rinse and repeat. And once you've got those steps, once you've worked out this system and this strategy, whatever you create, whether it's a live class or a digital product, we go through the same steps time and time again. Once you've mastered them, there will be no stopping you, don't you think, Jenny?
Oh gosh, yes, yes. So I think about the first products that I made, online products, and even the first course that I ever wrote, and especially the online stuff. As you said, you have the ability to get inside that computer and alter it as you go. And so, I feel utterly that you get that system, and every time I've made something, the next thing that I've made has come easier. It does to me feel like it's getting easier until I guess the technology changed. But ultimately, I feel as if every time, because you've worked out what works with each new product, right, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do this. So you're refining your strategy every single time. I believe it does get easier each time.
Yeah, it
100%.
definitely does. I think the first one is it seems daunting, but once you've launched it and we've put their perpetual motion, moving forward, um, once you've sort of got that going and you've launched and you're on that sort of, not bandwagon, that's not the right word, but you're on that treadmill, then you felt the adrenaline, you've created something, you've got it out there, you've got sales, people like it. Even if it's a small product to start with, that will get you going on the road. Then the next one will be a little bit bigger. So you start to create almost both you and I have a suite or a family of online digital products and also live offerings, and you just keep building and building and building, listening to your audience, listening to your tribe. What do they want? How can you create something that's going to serve their needs? Building your audience, using your social media, and forever listening and observing. And a tip I always like to think, today I've had a day off today actually, and been to a gallery in London and had a fabulous time, but come back totally refreshed, seen my business through a different set of eyes, had a couple of different ideas. Keep an eye on the wider picture, especially if you're in fitness. You can get very kind of very blinkered and very small in this smallish industry. So make sure that you're taking on board current events and art and fashion and music and whatever it is that rocks your world, so that you can bring those skills and bring those ideas back and keep giving light to your products. I think that's really important, because you can get very, very tunnel vision when you're creating your product like this, and it's important to step out the box and have a look around you what else is going on.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. I feel, I'd be so honest, that a lot of my inspiration doesn't actually come from within the fitness industry. You know, the books on my shelves, obviously I have fitness books, but then I go way, way, way wider, because I think you need to draw, as you said, you can get into a tunnel here, and there are inspiring people everywhere. There's inspiring ideas everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So, guys, I'm going to open that up to a bit of Q&A. Everybody stayed on the call, which is fantastic. So, Jenny and I are going to be here for a bit longer. So, if you would like any more questions, or if you'd like to answer us to answer any of those questions, just type it in the chat box. Please don't worry about interrupting us. We really want to hear from you guys, what you're thinking. If you've got an idea, if you're ready with a passion project that you're dying to unleash into the world, let us know. Let's have a look here. And if we can answer any of your questions, by all means, let us know now. This is a great opportunity. If there's anything that you're thinking, oh, if only I could ask this, that, or the other, then go for it now. Please do.
Yeah, 100%. I'd really like to hear what you're planning, what you're thinking about, and where you have queries.
Yeah.
Oh, is anybody typing?
No, no one's typing. I reckon everyone's multitasking and doing other things while they're listening to us. No other questions. Oh, well,
Well,
you can always privately message Jenny or I if there's something that you'd want us to answer individually. Please do.
yeah, absolutely. You know, we're here, we're on social media. If you have any questions, honestly, just ask them. Just ask them.
Absolutely. And if you are ready to launch your passion project and you want to jump in on our exclusive coaching and mentoring, just head over to my website, which is choreography2go.com/passion hyphen project. And it's on my main navigation at the top of the page. You can't miss it. So just have a click on there and that will bring up everything, all the modules in detail, everything. And there's also a little questionnaire. So you can fill in that questionnaire and Jenny and I will have a look at it. And again, if you have any queries or you're not sure if this course is for you at this time in your career, then just jot everything down on that questionnaire. And then Jenny and I, we can always give you a call back and we can have a little chat about it, and we can decide what the best course of action is for you going forward. So just give us a shout, but do head over to choreography2go.com/passion project, and have a look at all the information there. I will probably say now that this will be the only time that I'll do any coaching or mentoring, definitely through 2016. Do you think you'll be doing anything extra, Jenny? Will this be your
Uh,
only coaching?
yeah, not unless they make a 25-hour, 26-hour day. No, this is the only thing that I'm going to do like this because, because I want to do it well. I want to do it well. I've already got a really busy schedule and I want to do this well, so I never want to take on more than I can manage.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on a second. So there's a question here from Sally. I want to launch a 30-day online plan in January. You are giving me more confidence that I can do it. I already do free small 30-day challenges on my Facebook page. Do you think people will be prepared to pay? I am nervous that they won't. What is your advice? The videos will be a lot longer, 15 to 20 minutes, hit, etc. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, you know what, Sally? If you are offering value, so whatever you were offering for free, then obviously it needs to be more valuable than that, because why would they pay for it if it's exactly the same thing? But if you're offering something that is valuable to your target audience, of course they will pay.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's all about the marketing and the value, and yeah, I'm sure those people that have done the free the free 30-day challenges with you, if you're showing them that the next level up is going to give them so much more, then definitely, I'm sure they will be wanting to sign up. Did you used to get many people on your free ones, Sally? Did you use those free emails to build your email list? Did you collect all those emails? Videos a bit longer, 15 to 20 minute hit. I bet she'll come back in a minute. I think there's a time lag on this. scared about, oh no, sorry, it's Maria's saying, oh, loads, about 1,000 at a time. Wow. Well, if you're getting 1,000 on a free 30 day, I'm sure that if you put a paid version that was of much higher value with more content, I'm sure you would get a good percentage of those people who want to follow you. Yes, well done. Don't you think, Johnny? That's awesome.
1,000 at a time, that's massive. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you up your game now and really create something, and create something that is much more valuable than what you've done before, absolutely, Sally, you've already got 1,000 people engaging. Okay, if you charged, I don't know, 99 quid for it and you got 100 people paying, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
So yeah, 100, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, my gosh, with figures like that, of course you're going to do fine.
absolutely fine. And then Maria is saying she's scared about asking feedback for an up and coming course. She's got a fragile ego and it's her first time. Oh, oh,
Well, we're working together on this. So do you know what? We will hand out those feedback forms and we will digest them, and everything will be all right. You know what? It's really funny. I started Burrell Education in 2007, and I think I was doing feedback forms until maybe for 5 years. For 5 years, I did those feedback forms. And I remember my friend saying to me, he said, "What do you do those for still? You don't need to be doing those anymore." And I said, "Yes, I do." And even now, I ask people for testimonials, but still, when I ask them for testimonials on the form, I say, "What could I have done better?" And I'm never scared to hear that, because as the years have gone on, the things that I could have done better, those have got tinier and tinier and tinier.
oh.
But it's really made me work hard to get those hardly any responses. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And you know what? At the end of the day, Maria, we can't be all things to all people. We can't be everybody's cup of tea. You just can't be. And so, sometimes if you do get something negative, you just have to not take it personally. And if it's something that you can change or you know that you can perform better on next time, then yeah, do that. But you do have to develop a little bit of a thick skin sometimes. But it is part of it, isn't it? As Jenny said right at the beginning, if you're putting yourself out there, then sometimes you're going to have to have the good and the bad, don't you think?
Yeah, totally, totally. And it's all right. It's all right. Brush that off. Brush it off.
Totally. Oh, that was a lovely hour. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I hope you all got something from it. Do let us know, post on our social media and let us know if you enjoyed the webinar. We really appreciate you spending the time on this Wednesday evening with us tonight. Thank you so much. And I really hope you found it valuable. If any of you are on Periscope, oh, it's the love of my life at the moment. I do a daily work. Oh my God, I'm on Periscope 24/7. When Jenny said, oh, we're not going to do like a webcam, I was like, oh no, I'm going to have to do slides. Oh no, I'd much rather do Periscope and just talk and be on camera. So if you want to come check me out on Periscope, come and say hello. It'd be great to see you there. My website is choreography2go.com or kickstartfatloss.net. Jenny, where can everyone find you?
They can find me at all the W's, burrelleducation.com.
Fantastic. And again, guys, thank you so much.
Ah, lovely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.